buy cheap government auction properties here at this secret location. We're talking houses with opening bids as little as $1,600. Some of these houses can be worth $50, $100, $200,000, and the opening bid can be sometimes as much as 90% off market value. Now, one of the biggest challenges is where do you go to find these properties? So that's what we're going to cover here in today's video, is the secret location of government auction properties that are going up to sale. So this is a fun video because I know, like most of you guys probably tuning in, you're sick and tired of inflation, and maybe you realize real estate could be one of the best tools possible for creating wealth and protecting yourself against inflation, recessions, and perhaps one of the toughest economic times that could be coming up for us. So that's why I love real estate and I recommend you get into it. So what I want to do here is we're going to walk you through step by step one of our favorite sites for finding these cheap properties, and that is Bid4Assets.com. So this video is going to walk you through it step by step. So not only can you watch, but you can follow along and take action, because this could be the tool that could help you and your family get into real estate and maybe change the course of your life, as it did for me getting into real estate. So without further ado, I'm gonna hand it over to my business partner, Mr. Corey Chason. This guy has some of the best dressed shirts in the Tax Lien Deeds government seized auction property house game. So over to you, Corey.
All right, thanks so much, Dustin. So let's hop right into this video. We're gonna look at Bid4Assets and sort of a broad overview of Bid4Assets. Now, there's a lot of specific things. You're gonna watch this probably and have questions at the end, and we get that. We're actually going to be filming more videos specifically on Bid4Assets and other platforms, just so you have access to them. But for today's video, I really just want to hone in on the general idea of Bid4Assets and even sort of these websites in general. So if you're a seasoned pro, this will be a review for you. If you're brand new, this will be super informative. So what we've got here is on my screen now, we've got Bid4Assets, and Bid4Assets is it's kind of like it's a third-party website that the county will use to host their auctions. Now, when we started this like 15 years ago, this stuff obviously didn't work. This didn't exist, and then throughout the years, and as stuff goes on, you'll see certain counties, and not even whole states, but just certain counties start to use Bid4Assets. Now they have a whole map of the entire U.S. here. But it's not always that they're in those specific states. There are other websites that certain states will use, and so just keep that in mind as you're going through this. But yeah, so the county will basically hire this company to host their sales for them. Now, I want to caution everyone with this. There are a lot of other third-party websites out there that you might find offering liens and deeds, government seized properties, land banks, and just make sure you do your research to know if those are what the actual county is using. Now, if you go to the Philadelphia website, and we're actually doing a sale, Philadelphia tax deed sale of foreclosure, what you'll end up actually finding is it'll actually pop up here on Bid4Assets. Now, you should also be able to look on the City of Philadelphia website and find where they link to it. So we can see sheriff and lien sale, buy a property at a sheriff sale. And of course, as I'm filming videos, it's always you can get taken to a bunch of different places. Now we're on this website, but we can see here we're on the Philadelphia Sheriff's website, but we also see welcome to Philadelphia Sheriff Sales on Bid4Assets. Now this is a video where they're basically welcoming you to Bid4Assets, and then this is going to, believe take you foreclosures. Yeah, Philadelphia Sheriff Office uses Bid4Assets as a platform. So I'm not sure if you can see that there, but my point is this. You always want, like, if you find a website where they're offering liens and deeds to government seized properties, that sort of thing, you always want to try to link it back to the website, to the county's actual website, because you'll just get these third-party sites that pull data from places like Bid4Assets, or it's just a fourth-party seller, like who has bought it, and then they're just trying to sell it to you. And when you get into that scenario, all the rules are different. Like, and I don't want to. It's a bit more of a conversation to jump into than what I initially had thought what this video would be. And so we'll just stop it there. But just make sure you can link it back to the county website, and you'll be safe. And there are a few. There's like Bid4Assets. There's GovEase. That's a trusted one. There's Real Auction. Real Tax Lien. Real Auction. Tax liens. And so I'll just There we go, Real Auction. This is another trusted one. They have liens and deeds. Come over here to clients, real tax liens, and yeah, so these are like where a lot of the Arizona ones are. Lien Hub is another one for Florida. Florida is also here on Real Auction. So it's just, you have to be mindful and be careful when you're going to these websites, just to make sure it is what the county is actually using. That's my whole point. So thank you for letting me go on that rant. Back to Bid4Assets. So you're going to log, you can sign up here. That's a really loud motorcycle. My window's open, so thanks for sticking with me through that. But you can see they have a tax sale calendar here, and they have a bunch of different stuff. Now, Bid4Assets, again, you can click on these things, but they also, people can just sell random stuff on Bid4Assets. So you want to make sure that when you look, you're actually finding ones that are from the actual county. And so what we can see here, we can see if I zoom in here, yeah, I don't know. I recently switched mouses. There we go. You should see that. County tax sales, sheriff sales, foreclosures, Philadelphia sheriff sales. So these are the ones that we would mainly focus on. These $1 no reserve auctions, those could be just from a random seller selling it. And so you just want to be careful. If you're clicking around here just looking for deals, you might find stuff like that, in which case it's not a government seized property for the most part. It's probably not a tax lien or tax deed property. It doesn't mean it's not a good deal, but it's not the scope of what we do. And so just be mindful when you're going into that. So you can click here on county tax sales and you can kind of see what's coming up. We've got, like, you can see here the San Luis Obispo in June. We got the Whatcom County surplus property, Minnesota, California. Looks like this one's postponed. And you can kind of see what's coming up here. And then if we go back, we can also see Philadelphia sheriff sales. So this is where they post it. You can actually, that's the exact same video that's right here, that was here on this last page here. So same video. But there you go. You can click there for the tax foreclosures, the mortgage foreclosures. So differences between these two for another video. But for what we're doing, the tax foreclosure is what we're going to be focusing on for the government seized properties. And then you can see this is the same list that was on the other website. And so this is the list for May 9th. And you can see more, but this, you can get this calendar up here. And you can see all the auctions and stuff that are coming up. Now, we actually just got off a live where Josh kind of walked through this a little bit. So if you want to check that out, you can check back on our YouTube channel in the live section, and you'll be able to see us kind of talk a bit more about this, and he gives you a bit of backstory behind that. So I'd recommend checking that out after this video. But yeah, so that's what happens. And then basically what you're doing with this is you're just going to do your research. And you can click on here. It'll kind of pull you into the actual, this is the actual property now. They don't give you photos, so you need to make sure you have proper photos, research done, whether that's hiring someone off a Facebook group or you're driving the properties yourself. You never want to buy something sight unseen. That's just a rule. Please follow it. People come to us all the time and they haven't done that, and it's a nightmare. But yeah, so we want to make sure we view the property, and also title work is a huge thing, but again, outside the scope of this video. But you can see here what you're going to do. If this is, for example, if you were going to bid on this auction, you would need to click here for the deposit instructions. It usually takes a week. It's good to register a week before. I think you can only register. I don't think you can register like sooner than a week before, or sorry, later than a week before. But once you do, you'll be able to kind of put your bid in. You can see the current bid starts at $5,800 for this one, and the bid increment is $100. Whoa. And then you can see when it closes, and then, like, let's assume you logged in, you'll be able to see your login status. No reserve. This means that there isn't a minimum amount. So if you hit that current bid of $5,800 and you're the only bidder, you would win. If there was a reserve, let's say the starting bid's $5,800, what can sometimes happen is the reserve might be $30,000. So unless you hit that $30,000, then you won't get the property. That's what, like, the seller has set the reserve at. That's usually generally for people like who are selling it not county. Usually the county usually starts, the starting bid is the kind of like the reserve. I remember this back in eBay days when I was buying stuff on eBay. There'd always be a reserve, and it would be like reserve not met, and then eventually you'd hit it and the reserve was met, and then you would get it if you won the bid. So that's kind of what that reserve means. You can highlight over it there, and it shows you. You can highlight over here. It shows you the periods, like the overtime period, what that means. It tells you when it starts and when it ends. And then you can see the source, the government. So this is a good place to look to make sure you're actually buying a property that's from the government, not just some random Joe on the street. And then you got your deposit instructions here, and you can see the page view. So you can see this is actually a decently hot page. 742 views is a decent amount. And then you see the seller name obviously here. This due diligence, I think is like it's down here. So we'll just scroll down and then we'll kind of go through this asset information. So you can see what you need to do to buy it. The disclaimers, this is pretty common. So they can reject any bids. They may withdraw the property if someone bids it, like someone pays the taxes, etc. And they reserve the right to cancel the sale. So that's kind of just disclaimers that they have to say. You can see the address here, the OPA, the sheriff number. And so these are all things that you're going to use the OPA to find like the actual, like in the actual county data or in the actual like parcel maps. You're going to want to look at the parcel lines to make sure you know it's like it's an actual piece of land. Again, another video. We have lots of videos on our YouTube channel, but maybe the next video will be researching the parcel lines. But that's important. This is a super important number. Book writ and plaintiff. This is really important stuff for title work, and Josh will be filming videos on that. And then property description. You can see the court case here where you can see notifications and any other things that might need to know for the sale of the property, like before you buy it. So due diligence, you can see all this stuff, the asset description. This is kind of the same as the stuff that we just saw above, so that's good to know. And then bidding requirements, and then all of that, and that's that. So it's kind of similar to that for all of them. Now, if we go back to real estate, now this is where you can get yourself confused, because then there's all this stuff here that you might hit the back button and be like, oh, look at all this stuff at the auction in Philadelphia. You've actually gone back to a different screen. So what I would recommend is always trying to make your way back to the main screen, and then tax foreclosure auctions, and so that you know you're in the Philadelphia County, Pennsylvania. So you can always kind of see what you're looking at the top here. It should tell you what county you're in. But let's just go quickly to the let's click on the California one, and then we can see here the county of Tulum, California, treasurer, tax collector, defaulted properties. Perfect. So then we see all these here. We can see when it's happening. May, a lot of stuff in May going on. County of YOLO. That's a funny county name. Not like offensive funny, but just YOLO is a popular saying with the young kids these days. San Luis Obispo, that's a sweet spot. I like San Luis Obispo. Slow, as the locals call it. And then you can see here sort of when it starts. So it starts May 30th, ends June 2nd. Deposit deadline May 23rd. Settlement deadline June 5th. So that's when you have to, that's when everything will get paid for. So these ones are a little more intense in California because you have to, you need to put $5,000 down. Now you will get that $5,000 back if you don't use it, but the $35 is non-refundable. So yeah, so you have to fill out all your stuff, and then I don't know if you can see it yet. Oh yeah, so here's the auction folders. So if there's there might be a bunch of different folders to go through, and so that's where it can take more time. So this one is this. You can see sort of there's not a ton of them going through right now. They might add more before, but let's see if we can pull that up. Yeah, so it's a piece of land. Current bid $23,100. So very similar to the one before. Source government deposit required. Looks like you can ask the government a question. I don't know if they would ever respond to that. You could try. But then you got your APN number, which is again where you would go into the county map to kind of find this in the county assessor's map or the parcel map, and just verify that this is what you're looking at. Now, if you thought there was a home, like if this photo was over here, but the actual county map was this one, that's what you would want to know. So we always want to double check this for reassurance of what we're looking at, reassurance that what we're looking at is actually what we are buying. And so that's why due diligence is so important, guys. So important. So please do it, guys and gals. Just do it. Do your due diligence. It's so important. There's do it. I think that's from Dodgeball. Anyway, train of thought. All right, so that's so fun. Yeah, so I'd recommend what I would recommend you do. That's just a broad overview of this of Bid4Assets, but you have a look around, click around, see what you can find. There's you can see here. There's it'll show you how many auctions are happening. Like Wyoming, South Dakota, North Dakota, Montana. There's nothing there. Colorado, there's 9. Kansas, there's 1. Missouri, Illinois, 5. Kentucky, 1. You can see Pennsylvania is kind of where a lot of them are, 2,500. Let's see, what do we got? I would say Pennsylvania and California are probably the most. Louisiana, 176. California, 852. Yes. Am I right? Whew, I was right. Yeah. So looks like Bid4Assets as far as county stuff goes, you know, Pennsylvania, California, the biggest ones. Like I said, there's other websites. We do have a vault that has a list of upcoming all websites on taxlienschool.com. I don't want to show it to you yet, but it's there, and we're going to launch it very soon. But now, if you do want more information, I have this sweet book. It's the ABCs of Tax Lien Deed Investing. We give you a digital copy of this, but there's a link below. You can check it out. If you're new, this is the perfect way to start. There's no better way to get into government seized properties than there is this book. This book is, oh my gosh, we've sold so many of them. We used to charge $100 for this book. Now we give it away for free. And it's just a really fantastic way to get going in this business. And you can put in your email, your name, your phone number if you'd like, and it will send it right to your inbox, and you can get started on it right away. There's actually a lot of great videos and even more training than just this book in the portal that you're going to get, in the online portal. So I'd recommend doing this. Now, if you're the kind of person that wants, you know what, I actually want a little bit more help, I want my hand to be held through this process a bit more, we actually also have training that you can sign up for, but it's just, you have to book a call. You have to chat with us. We want to make sure that we can help you in the best way we can. And so on the screen, you'll see a QR code. And what you can do is you can scan that QR code, or you can also click the link in the description where this book is as well. We make it super easy for you. And you can grab the book, or you can book a call in, chat with one of our great team members, and see if we can help you in a way that's more practical and more hand-holding. Maybe it's coming to an auction with us. Who knows? Maybe you want to come and hang out at the Philly auction digitally, virtually. Who knows? But all that is in the link below. And yeah, I mean, there's so many great things to do. So if you're new, grab this book. If you're a bit more seasoned and you want to take the next step, then book a call with us and we'll get you going. And besides that, I would love it if you guys would take some time on Bid4Assets, poke around, have a look, and then make sure you check out the YouTube live we just did as well. And because Josh goes a little bit more in depth into Philadelphia, which you might really like. If you don't like Philadelphia, then there's other great YouTube lives there. But check out that live. Spend a bit of time on Bid4Assets, and until next time, just keep, as they say, keep your stick on the ice. And you know, if you don't take chances, if you don't move forward, then you're gonna be left behind, and you'll be thinking in 3 years, man, I wish I would have started when I saw this video. So check it out, and we'll catch you in the next video.